This is a December update on my 112 gallon average reef. It's already the 30th of December, so I'm cutting it pretty close to getting this done. I try and make one video a month on the tank, showing its progress. Unfortunately, for the second year in a row, I've been unable to do any Boxing Day shopping. For those of you who don't know, Boxing Day in Canada is the biggest shopping day, and fish and corals are generally available very cheap. If you watched my other videos, a couple weeks ago I did try and get some more new corals. Unfortunately, most of those didn't survive, and all 9 SPS frags died before I could put them in the tank. Fortunately, the zoos and pallies that I got in the same shipment have since recovered. I did lose some polyps, but all 4 of the pieces I got are now doing well. The 2 over here are just some pretty plain pieces. They were basically throw-ins with my order to make it more worthwhile to order, but at least I have them and they're still alive. The other piece is over here. This is a new piece of dry rock that I added to the tank in anticipation of having 9 new SPS frags. You can see I moved the millipora as well. This is because the far left piece was getting stung out by the Pocillipora, which is continuing to grow like crazy. This piece was started by a 1/2-inch frag, and it's since grown to a mini colony. There is one other acro frag here that's just a piece of the green colony, which I accidentally broke off scraping the back, and I don't want to glue it in because I'm probably not going to keep it in forever. I have another new rock here sticking out, which has actually colored up a bit in the past couple of weeks. Eventually, hopefully, there'll be some new pieces on that. The chalice here has made its way from this rock onto the other. It's growing pretty quickly. That's part of the reason why I put these zoos here, because they'll be okay when the chalice extends its super long sweeper tentacles. If it gets any closer though, I'll have to start worrying about this Favia and Blastomusa. My Duncans are really growing well. Again, this was started by a small frag, and there's quite a few heads on it now. Despite the fact my tank is pretty narrow, I like to look at it from the side. So you have a nice view of pretty much everything. I was looking at some old photos of my tank from a memories post 7 years ago, and this mini carpet anemone was there, so I've had this guy at least 7 years. Most of the stuff in here is not that old though. There's still a bit of empty rock on this side. Of course, again, I was expecting to add more pieces here, but eventually I will fill in these last few spots. Here's another piece of Kenyan tree that's just about to break off. I think this might have been the same one in my last video, which was just a couple days ago. I said it was going to come off in about 3 or 4 days, and it looks like tonight or tomorrow this piece will be floating around in the tank. This side is pretty full. I'm gonna start cutting back more of these mushrooms. There are zoos underneath them that are getting choked out. Most, if not all, of the corals are growing pretty well. This Monty cap is starting to take off. When I first got it, it was nowhere near as red, but it's done quite well under the sliding and flow. This acro here has encrusted completely around the frag plug, so now hopefully it will start growing up. You can see there's a little bit of caulerpa growing behind this green acro, which I'm going to have to remove. I would like to see a few more hard corals in here and a little bit less soft corals, but it remains to be seen if that's realistic. In the new year, I'd like to try and add something new to the tank, but with the way the last livestock shipping went, I'm not really sure if I should risk it again. The other option is to go airport to airport, but it seems like most of the coral stores don't ship the major airline that goes to my airport, so that might not be an option either. I could go in another direction and add some more hardware. It's a little bit tricky to tell, but if you do look closely, the right side is lit with more lighting than the left side. Across the tank there are 3 Kessels, one A350 and 2 A360s, but between the center and the right one there is also a Reef Breeders Blackbox LED. This is one of the higher end Chinese Blackbox fixtures. It blends quite well with the Kessels, so I could potentially add another one here, or I could just get a 4th Kessel and spread them a little bit closer together. That being said, I would probably still keep the Blackbox fixture, so I'm not really sure. The other option would be to add some more flow to the tank. Generally it is pretty good. You can see that Gorgonian swinging, the leathers here, even the polyp extension on the Neliporia lesta part that has been stung out. It's pretty good, and given that I have a bare bottom tank, I can easily tell if I have any dead spots. That being said, unless you're blasting something, too much flow is never a bad thing, so that's another option. If anyone has any suggestions on what I should do next, I wouldn't mind hearing them. I mean, the obvious suggestion is to just do nothing and let things continue to grow, but where's the fun in that, right? Hope everyone has a happy new year and everyone's tanks are doing well. Thanks for watching and happy reefing.